Welcome to the virtual application session for Front Range Community College concurrent enrollment students. This video will walk you through how to apply to the college as a concurrent enrollment student. So let's get started. You'll begin at the website www.frontrange.edu. Once you're here, you're going to scroll down and you're going to click on the word Apply Now, if that's in red. Once this screen comes up, you'll next click on the green Apply Now button. Once you're looking at this screen, if you don't have an account yet, you'll click the Create Account button. And once you've done that, you'll then fill out this information. You'll notice some of the questions have red stars. Those are required ones to answer. Once you've completed all of this page, click that you're not a robot and click Create Account. Once you're logged in, you'll be looking at a page that looks like this but doesn't show any applications yet. To start an application, click on the button up here that says Apply Online. Click the blue Start a New Undergraduate Application button. Choose the term that you plan to start your classes. Remember, this is not the time that you plan to start college after high school. This is the semester you plan to start concurrent enrollment, so make sure to choose the correct semester. Then click the Submit button. At this point, the application will have 5 different areas you'll complete. They include personal information, academic information, residency information, demographic information, and the College Opportunity Fund and certification. Let's work through each of these one at a time. For personal information, go ahead down the list and make sure that it's filled out completely and with the correct information. Once you've done this page, you can click Save and Continue. For the academic information page, there's a few questions that we would like concurrent enrollment students to complete a certain way. Let's walk through those now. Under student type, there are 2 questions. The first asks, are you a student at another college and plan to attend our college for 1 semester only? The answer to that is no. For the second question, it says, will you graduate or earn a high school equivalency before you plan to begin classes? There are several options on the list here. Please select the 4th option, which reads, no, I am a current high school student who will not graduate prior to the semester for which I am applying, aka concurrent enrollment student. Once you've selected that option, let's move on to academic plans. Make sure that you have the correct semester listed. You can choose a goal for community college. There is no wrong goal. You can select an area of interest. If you're unsure, select all academic programs. And now you can select a degree or certificate. If you're unsure, please select the Associate of Arts. At that point, it may ask you for a concentration choice. That question is optional, so we'll leave it blank in this video. Next, it will ask you, what campus do you want to attend? For this question, please be sure to select Westminster campus. It may be that with some of the options you've selected up here, Westminster campus does not appear as an option. If Westminster campus does not appear as an option, please go back and select all academic programs for area of interest, as well as Associate of Arts for your degree or certificate. Now let's talk about finding your high school. For this page, please enter the name of your high school. I will use Westminster High School as an example. As you notice, there'll be a list of options that show up. Please select the right one. This does include every high school in the country. So you want to make sure that you're selecting the high school that is in your state. For example, there are 2 Westminster high schools and we want the one that's in Colorado. Your school may show something similar. A few follow-up questions will now appear. Have you or will you earn a high school diploma or high school equivalency? The question is asking if you plan to graduate from high school, so the answer is yes. The month that you earn or anticipate earning your diploma or high school equivalency. This is asking when you plan to graduate from high school. Most high school students graduate in May. Some do in December. If you're not sure, choose May. Then type in the year that you plan on graduating high school. Once you've done that, hit Save and Continue. Now let's talk about the residency section. The first question here is the citizenship status. For citizenship, if you have a social security number, you're going to click U.S. citizen, and then you're going to enter that number, whatever that number might be. Please do not enter the wrong number, and please do not enter a false number. Doing so can create extra paperwork and delays the process by which you can enroll in college. If you do not have a social security number, you can click on Other/non-U.S. citizen, and then you simply leave this blank. It's important to note that if you fill this out, questions are not going to be asked. It's also important to note that if you choose Other, and you don't put a social, but you actually do have a social security number, you will be creating a significant number of extra paperwork for yourself, as well as run the risk of being charged non-resident tuition rates after you graduate from high school. If you have more questions about that, please reach out to your concurrent enrollment coordinator. Now that you've filled out this section, let's scroll down and look at the in-state classification. Go ahead and select your age, and then fill out the in-state classification questions. Simply answer these honestly. If you've attended a Colorado high school for 3 years, or if you plan to go to a college, ultimately the question is asking, have you attended a Colorado high school for 3 years? And fill this out accordingly. It may ask some follow-up questions. It may not ask follow-up questions. It depends on how you answer. As long as you're telling the truth, there's nothing to be worried about. When you're finished with this page, hit save and continue. Welcome to demographic information. Some of these questions on this page are optional, and some are required. Let's look through all of them just in case. For military status, an optional question, you are welcome to select no military if that applies to you, or choose the option that does. You can also leave it blank. For gender or selective service, the United States government needs to know what your sex was at birth. This is your biological sex and may not necessarily be the same gender that you currently identify with. For this question, please choose the sex that you were born with at birth as it relates to the Selective Service Registration Program. If you have more questions about this, please feel free to reach out to your concurrent enrollment coordinator. You can answer questions about ethnicity, race selection, and other supplemental information. All of these questions, however, are optional. Occasionally, we are asked what's meant by an out-of-workforce individual. This question applies to adult students who are currently looking for work. If this does not apply to you, you can select no. When you're finished with this page, please hit save and continue. We are now on the last page for the College Opportunity Fund and certification. The first question for the College Opportunity Fund asks, do you allow us, that's Front Range, to create a College Opportunity Fund account? COF is a fund set up by the state legislature in Colorado that assists in paying for students' tuition. It is part of how a student's tuition is paid for the concurrent enrollment program. The high school pays the remaining portion. So please be sure as you complete this portion of the application that you leave this question on the default that says, yes, apply on my behalf. Now for the certification question. This is where you sign your application. You're going to choose yes to certify that you have told the truth in this application to the best of your knowledge. And then you're going to complete the application by signing your name. At the bottom of the page, you'll have two options. One says preview before submission, and the other says submit application. Go ahead and click submit application. In this case, as might have happened for your application, we've missed a question. We have left the citizenship selection field empty, and we've not entered the social security number. Thankfully, by clicking submit, we'll get a little red box here that shows us exactly what's missing. And if we click those links, it'll take us straight to that question. So we can now complete that portion of the application. We can go back and click submit application again. And at that point, the application will show as submitted. When you complete an application, now you'll come back to this home screen and it'll show that you have an application listed here. Your status should say submitted. If it doesn't say submitted, it means the application is incomplete and you'll need to click edit and finish that application. If for some reason you're not able to complete the application at the present time, for example, perhaps you don't have your social security number on you at the moment, then you can always come back to Front Range Community College later, go back to the apply button like at the beginning of this video, and instead of creating an account, you'll simply log back in to the account that you've already created. At that point, you will click edit and finish your application. Now let's talk about the last step of the process. Once you've completed your application, you'll receive 2 emails from Front Range. The first email will come right away, as soon as the application is completed and submitted. And the first email will congratulate you on your acceptance into Front Range Community College. The second email will come anywhere from 1 to 2 business days later, and it will include your S number. An S number is usually the letter S, followed by a 0 and 7 other digits, so 8 digits total, 9 if you count the S. That S number is going to be your student ID number, and you will use that to log into anything on our campus, as well as all of our online portals that you can access from home. Once you have your S number, you will then complete the Concurrent Enrollment College Agreement, or CE form, as we call it. Let's walk through how to complete that form now. You will first go to www.frontrange.edu/CE form. Once here, you'll click on the word Next. Let's click on Next again. Please be sure to read this form, as this is the form that sets up the pay agreement and ensures that your high school pays your tuition. At this point, we're going to complete this form, and once we've done that, we'll go to Next. Now we're looking at the fine text of the Concurrent Enrollment College Agreement. Please be sure to read these items carefully before clicking the Next button. On this last page, you'll be checking boxes to indicate that you agree with these portions of the commitment involved with concurrent enrollment classes. Once you've checked these boxes, type your name and submit the form. Congratulations, you've completed the CE form. Please give us 1 day to process this form. Most of your holds will be lifted and you will be able to register for classes. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, work through the application, and complete the CE form. We're excited to work with you.